Everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have invited Ebuka, who will be teaching us how to use Revit as an interior designer. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Mia and I am currently working as an interior designer. And I have recently started a new position where Revit skills are required. And I came to realize that a lot of companies are now looking for you to have Revit skills, or at least transitioning from AutoCAD to Revit. And I'm not gonna lie, learning new softwares is not my greatest strength. So if you're watching this video who wants to learn Revit, you're on the same page as me. I'm completely new to Revit. Let's do it together. So let me introduce you to our lovely tutor, Ebuka. Ebuka is an interdisciplinary designer and a part-time educator in Toronto, Canada. He has a bachelor degree in interior design from the University of Manitoba and currently working as a junior designer in the industry. He also offers one-on-one tutorials, so if anyone is interested, please get in touch with him from the link in the description. So a quick overview of these tutorials. The video will be divided into 6 episodes, and at the end of the 6, we have modeled small workflows. Ebuka will teach us the basic modeling of interior space, how to create 2D drawings such as plan, elevation, and section drawing, how to add annotation, and we will also learn how to add colors, materials, floor finishes, and create 3D axonometric view, which will be really helpful in our graphic presentation. And before we start our tutorial, I would be really happy if you could subscribe to my channel so you can become part of our interior design community. Now, without a further ado, let's begin the tutorial. Let's start.
So once I'm in Revit, one thing I like to do is make sure you have the properties panel open and you have the project browser. So the properties panel has to do with the elements or the attributes that you have on your drawing, and for each architectural element, as you can see, it shows you the scale, the display mode.
And it's like the first screen that you see when you open Revit.
Exactly. So it's the first screen that you see when you open Revit. I'm just going to close this up. 1 second. So once you open Revit, this is what you see. You have your ribbon tab up here. In this case, we are using the Revit 2021. So you have your file, you have architecture. Architectural tab contains all the architectural elements like walls, windows, doors, components, columns, roof, ceilings, all that good stuff. Curtain wall, stairs. For insert, so insert tabs lets you bring in other files, like how we'll be showing today. We're going to be using a CAD file to create a 3D model. You can import CAD, IFC, you can link topography, you can bring in decal. A decal is just literally like a picture you put on a wall.
Okay.
You can coordinate the model with the link tab. Let's say we want to send this file to someone in the UK and we want to simultaneously work on it at the same time. We can both use it in BIM 360. And annotate tab, as the name implies, it lets you annotate on your project. This way you have your dimensions, your elevations, your regions, installation. This way you can add your text. This way you can tag your elements. This way you can add your symbols, and anything that has to do with annotation is under the annotation tab. I don't really use the analyze. I would suggest that analyze is more for building efficiency or just geomatics or geographical location in terms of a real life project. So I don't really use analyze because I haven't worked on that scale yet of project.
Yeah. And
Massing,
also for interior design project, we don't really get into that details,
yeah,
right?
understandably so.
Location.
For
Yeah.
massing and sites, one of my favorite as well. This way you can actually make forms. So in Revit, so in Rhino, this is the equivalent to how you can make forms in Rhino. You can create like your topography, you can create like your size, your parking, all that good stuff. Collaborative is like the name implies, it's more on a collaborative setting. So let's say you're sharing your working drawings or your work sets with engineers, plumbers, so that they coordinate and see how things will work well together. Then your view tab lets you uh, change the graphic display. It also houses your 3D views, your sections, call out for details, elevation, drafting views, your sheet. Is where you can find your sheets. Manage tab is more with your materials and just some project details, phasing. Again, decal types is here as well, and coordination. Enscape is a rendering software which we'll get to later, but I have Enscape loaded on my computer. That's why I can see it on my Revit. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like an add-in. So if I had Lumion, you will see Lumion here as well. If I had Viri, so the add-ins I have incorporated with Revit, you will see it on here as well. But let's go back to the to the fun stuff. By the right, I have my project browser. So now the project browser it contains everything in your project, your
Mm-hmm.
levels, your sections, your sheets, your details, your like any detail components you have in your model. It's here. Any legend, any schedule, any sheets, any families, any groups, any links, it's gonna be on here. Most people
Mm-hmm.
have it here. Like I see most people have it like underneath, like
Yeah,
here.
my company does it like that
Yeah,
too.
but I just found I'm more efficient when I dock my project browser by my right and put my properties by my left. It just kind of gives me this sense of orientation. Again, that's
Mm-hmm.
personal. You know, feel free to do anything you want, but that's just me. I just find it it's more faster. The next thing you want to do once you're in Revit is on the bottom here. You want to change your scale, but before you do that, you hit the shortcut key UN to change your
Mm-hmm.
units. Unit is
Okay.
really important in a project because if you're not in the right unit to start with and you go far and do a lot, you might hate yourself. Anyways, let's not do that today. So we go to length
Mm-hmm.
and we can change it from centimeters, decimeters, feet, inches, millimeters, depending on the country you're situated in, and also depending on what your company or your organization use. For me, throughout school, I've used feet and fractional inches, so I just default to it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I press OK and I press OK. So now the whole drawing is in feet and fractional inches. So everything I draw will be in feet and fractional inches. And here we can now change the scale. Most times when I work on floor plans, I either use 1/4 or 1/8, but it doesn't really mind. It just matters on the size of paper you're printing it on. So you can do whatever you want and you can change the scale. So now we've run through.
So, sorry, is that so? Like when I work with metrics,
Mhm.
does it mean like it's 1 to 1, 1 to 100? Is that the scale that you're talking?
Yes, so if you actually want to use metric, you can do the same thing. Type UN
Mm-hmm.
and go to here where it says length. You
Mm-hmm.
can change it to, let's say you use metric, right? Centimeters.
Centimeters,
So
yeah.
you can change it
Or
centimeters
millimeters, maybe.
or yes, or yeah, millimeters. Yeah, millimeters, anyone. And you can change how many decimal place you want. Let's say we want one decimal place. If you're happy with this, you press OK
Mm-hmm.
and press OK. So now instead of having the feet and inches, you can have your normal 1 to 1, 1 to 100.
That's what I'm used
So
to.
Revit is really lenient and it lets you work with what you're comfortable with. Exactly. So let's say we want our
Okay.
floor plans to be 1 to 100. You can see that this elevation markers has gone bigger because of the scale. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but for the
Okay.
scale, but for the purpose of
For
this
the sake
video,
of this, yeah.
I'm going to be using fractional feet and inches. So
That's
now
okay.
we've you'll be wondering what these are. So this, I'll just run through it. This just shows the level of detailing. So you have your coarse, it makes it like more thicker. You have your fine and you have your medium. This will make more sense once we start drawing elements, so you can see how they would work. The next one is the graphic, is the visual style. You can change it from wireframe. So let's say if I okay, I think it would be better if I draw, then you like see the
Something.
difference. But
Yeah.
you have wireframe, you have hidden line, you have shaded, you have consistent colors, and you have realistic. But for the purpose of just drawing, we just keep it as hidden lines. And you have your hidden elements. Anyways, let us import the drawing we're going to be using today. I've seen most people say you shouldn't import CAD drawings into Revit. It will
You
mess up.
shouldn't.
Yeah, you should. It will mess up a lot of stuff. So what I like to do is I go to insert. So instead of going to import, I just
CAD.
go link CAD. So there are two differences between import and link CAD. So if you import a CAD file to your drawings, you just like it just imports it without having an information of where you got it from. But once you link it, even if you misplace it, it has a temporary file location where you can link it to where it's stored on your laptop. That's kind of the major difference. So I'm going to
Okay.
link CAD. and it's gonna pop up this. I'm just gonna go. This is the file that Mia sent me before our meeting. So I'm just gonna click on it. You can see the files. I like to make everything black and white, so everything comes in at one color.
Okay. You
Preserve
can
all
change
layers.
that setting there.
Sorry.
And you can change the setting through the color tab.
Exactly. Auto to original. Everything's looking good, and once you're ready, and you press open. So this is our file we're gonna be using. So which is the first floor? Which is the second floor? This or this?
They are both same. It's
Oh.
just a different layout, so we can just focus on one of them.
Okay, sounds good.
Should we take maybe the right one or something?
Okay, so in order to focus on a particular one, I don't want to see everything else. I'm just going to go here to show crop region, so I can just crop the parts that I don't need. So you click on it, you drag, click on it, you drag. We don't want to show this part, so that's fine. So it lets us actually zoom in. But before we do that, I want to take the elevations and put it where it's supposed to be, on top of this. So we did the right one, right? This. Good. Where's the left elevation? Just give me a second.
So the one you just moved is the elevation icon from Revit.
Yes, yeah, it's the elevation icon from Revit. I'm trying to find the rest one. Okay, yeah, this is the right one here. So I'm gonna click and click. MV is a shortcut for move, or you can also it's also something here to move it, but I just type MV.
MV.
MV. So I just take it from where it is to where it's supposed to be. And the last one is the left one. Let's find that bad boy. It's supposed to be somewhere. Yeah, I found it. Haha. Here and here. So MV again, and click on this. So now we have our elevations. So now we want to crop the regions so we don't see every other thing else that we don't need to see. It's good. So now we have just this. And in order to hide this line, you can just hide it. So now it's a clean drawing for us to start. Before we do that, we can cut this part out. I just want to delete every other thing because I had this model before. I already saved it in a different file, so I can Control Z. I can afford to delete it. In order to if something else you need to know in Revit, if you're having a hard time trying to select things, and if you don't know how to pick something, or you're lost for time, there's a tool called filter, and I'll show you how marvelous it is. It's an amazing tool. So you select everything. It doesn't matter. Just select everything. On the top here in the modify tab, there's a filter, so it lets you pick just what you want to pick. So I'm going to filter. The only thing I want to leave here is the DWG file that we have, and that is this one. So I check everything apart from it, because I'm going to delete every other thing else. So now that I have everything, and leave the levels as well, because levels is part of the Revit. So now that I have everything selected, I'm going to go to apply and press OK. So now it has selected everything that I don't need. Then I can go on and delete.
And have you deleted, or it's just hidden?
Delete.
Delete. Okay.
Yeah. So now I have just that. I don't know. Yeah. So now I have just the DWG drawing, and now we're good to go. So now we have our CAD drawings. We have to create walls. I can see there's a lift here, stair here, doors, phone booths. Actually, this is like a walk-in collaborative area. There's a partition wall here.
So maybe just quickly, when we work in company, the first thing that we do in whenever we design the space and we have to model something is by core, right? Like the shell of the building. And once we build that, we start to model the interior. So I think we can start from how we model the shell.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. First of all, I would like to see the thickness of this wall.
So how did you measure this?
Oh, sorry, my bad. So I pressed DI. I don't know. I tend to think everyone is in my
This is
head.
this is a tutorial, please.
So you can go on the annotate tab and you can find the aligned dimension. Or if you're lazy like me, you can just type DI. And you can,
DI.
yeah, DI. DI is the shortcut for dimensioning things in Revit.
Okay.
So you pick your first reference point, then your second one, and I can see the thickness of this exterior wall is 1 feet 6.5 inches. So 1.5 feet. That's a big boy. Okay, now I have to make a wall type for that.
Okay.
What's up?
No, just the language you use.
Okay.
Okay.
So in order to make walls, the shortcut is called WA for walls. Once you click on WA, or you can just go to architecture here and pick on wall. But I'm just lazy, I just type WA because I know it's faster for me. Revit will prompt you to different types of walls. So these are walls that have been loaded from my project. You have the interior partition, 138 millimeters. It's 1 hour fire rated. You have a retaining concrete wall. You have so many types of walls. You have a generic wall. I am going to use.
Is this so when, for example, like I'm new to Revit, and when I open a completely new file without anything downloading or anything, importing, the type, would I see all these different types of walls?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you install your Revit correctly, you will see all this. It's just like it's loaded in for you. And if it's not, I can also show you how to import your walls as well from your family. So we can see since this is in meters, I'm just gonna change it back to meters, so it's easier for all of us. What is the shortcut to get to the units?
UN? No.
That's what's up.
Is it?
UN. So we go to length and we change it so I can see it's in meters here, so I'll just match it. I'll go to meters. Press OK. Let's see. We want it to be 1 to 100. Good. So now same thing. Go to WA for walls. And now what's the shortcut for dimension?
DI.
Hey, sweet. I want to see the thickness of this wall. I can see what the 0. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Let me just bring a generic 300. Let's see. Okay. Let's pick our wall faces. This is weird. It's showing 0. 1 second.
Did you have to change?
Oh, I think it's supposed to be millimeters. That's why. Because meters is decimal place.
Yeah, millimeters. Yes.
My bad. See, that's what happens when you don't have breakfast early on a Saturday morning. Save your projects. Okay, now let's see. Hopefully, it doesn't say 0.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah. So now it's correct. We can see that the thickness of this wall is 475.0 millimeters. So now we can make a wall for the exterior wall and even name it. I'm gonna push my table down a little bit. So now we have this. In order to make our own custom wall, we go to edit type and duplicate it. The reason we are duplicating it is because if you make changes to this wall, generic 300, every other place you use a generic 300 in the model, it will change it, and we don't want it. So we want to have certain walls for certain purposes. So we duplicate it and call it our exterior wall, for lack of a better name, exterior wall. Now we've changed it. There's one more thing we have to do. We have to change the structure to match the 475. So we go to edit type. Where it says 300, we can change it to 400 and 475. Again, you can distribute the thicknesses to the core bound and core bound, but this is just for representational purposes. The only time you would need to do that is, let's say, if you're have to actually submit like working drawings. You can now say, okay, this one is 300, what do I need? So 475 minus 300, you can now put some over here and some over here. But for this purpose of this video, I'm just going to put the whole 475 here.
Yeah.
And now we have that. You press OK. Okay, and now the wall has increased. So now if I bring this, again, it's MV. If I bring this from here to here, you will see it would match with the wall. Let's see. It will match with the thickness of the wall. So now we have our exterior thickness of the wall. I noticed that the AutoCAD is kind of skewed. It's not straight. Is that how it's supposed to be?
I think because the building is not straight, I think so.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. So we can drag our wall to start from here. Goes here. And we have the same thing here. In order to make another wall, you can either just do the same WA and put it here, but there's another shortcut called CS. It's called create similar. So if I want to create the exact same similar wall from here to here, I just type CS and it will, let me create another one. I think this is a bigger wall, so we'll have to actually do different walls. For example, let's see, this wall here is 715. So exactly the same thing that we did for the other one. We click on this, we click on edit type, we duplicate it and call it exterior wall 715. We press OK, then we edit the boundary from 475, we change to 715. So you have to do it for every of your wall that is of different thicknesses. Once you're happy with 715, you press OK and press OK, and now it has changed to the thickness of this. I'm just going to delete this dimension. You can move it, you can move things around two ways. You can either click on it and drag, or you can type MV and move, whichever is convenient for you. I just like to click and drag if it's not like a big thing that's pinned. You can click and drag. Also, another tool in Revit is called align. Let's say now I've moved it to here, but I want this to align to this. The shortcut for align is AL. So how it works is I know I mess this up every single time, but let's see if I get it right today. You click on where you want it to be first. Then you click on it. Yeah, we got it. So that's how to align things. You click on where you want it to be, and you click on where it is, and it should work.
Also, you can find this align tool in Modify.
Align tool in the
in Modify. No?
Modify, exactly. Here, this is align tool.
Yeah. So AL stands for that.
I just use a shortcut because I'm lazy. I'm sorry.
I think I think it's the way to go. It's faster when you get used to it. Okay.
Next.
And at the moment, are we ignoring the window?
We'll put the windows on top of the wall.
On top of the wall.
Yeah, that was the same. That was the same curiosity I had when I started using Revit, because I'm like, where do the windows go? But the way Revit is set up is that it works with how things are hosted. So in order to have a window, have this window, you need to have this wall to host it on top of it. So it kind of thinks architecturally, if that's a word. Anyways, let's finish drawing it. We can speed up this other part. Okay, good. That's good. That's it. I want to see the thickness of this one to see if there's one that's. This is a 460. Oh wow, this building has different type of walls. We have to do the same thing. Edit type, edit, duplicate. Never mind, not that one. Duplicate.
So how long do you usually spend to build core?
It doesn't take
for
long.
this size of space. Would you say?
It doesn't take that long. It just depends on the complexity and the for example, this has a lot of jogs, so if I wanted to just go through this and be fast, what I would do, what I would do is just get any wall. I can edit it later. I'll just do this. I'll just draw the whole wall. You know, see, this is going really fast. Draw this. Draw this. We have that. So now we have an exterior wall. Now I can now go in there and edit the actual sizes. I was just, showing, how, like, what you can do if you
build,
exactly. I'm just gonna do the wireframe so I can see that. Okay, so that was a bad idea, wasn't it? We click on this and make it 715. That's good. And in order to distinguish this, in order to like poche the wall, that's the next thing you want to do to poche the wall. Poche just basically giving it like a solid color. You click on it, go to edit type, where you see graphics. You click on the coarse fill pattern. You can give it whatever pattern you want to do it, but for the purpose of just representation only and not construction, I just want to use a solid black.
Yeah.
Normally you will have a different wall type. You have gypsum on 16 mm of gypsum on both sides. Then you have your air barrier and your insulation or whatever technical difficult. That's a different type for different day. But I just want to see the thickness. So I click on black on solid fill. So now we can change the color. If you want it to be yellow, pink, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever.
Okay.
What I mostly use gray and black, but for this purpose we can use light gray. Once you press OK and apply, then you can now actually see your wall, and you have to do it for all of them. But yeah, that's pretty much how to do it. Just do the same thing. Edit type, come over to coarse fill pattern, change it to solid. Now it's in solid, you can now make it gray. Now, if I don't want to do if I don't want to do it individually, I can just click on all the walls, all the wall type. You can just press Control
to select multiple.
Yeah, select multiple and do everything at once. Go to edit. You go to this solid fill. It's black. Let's change it to gray. Like that. Bob's your uncle. Happy days. See?
Okay.
It's just faster ways of doing things. Things that I wish I knew earlier. Man, it's been a journey. Anyways, now we have our shell. I think I need to fix this because this is not aligned properly. So I'm just gonna bring this inside. WA. You know what? There's also a different ways. So there's a different way of drawing walls. It's called the pick line tool. So let's say we want to draw it on an angle and we don't know how to angle it. So you type WA, and there's this stuff here called pick lines. So what it lets you do is create a line based element based on an existing line that you have. So you click on it and pick this, and it gives you a wall already. So it's faster as well. So these are different ways of drawing walls, because every project is different. And
then the thickness is based on the previous setting.
Yes, and you can also change the thickness after you click on it and just change on whatever walls. You can see it drew it to the center line. If we don't want to draw it to the center line, we can specify on where we want the wall to start. So let's say let's try and draw like a wall. So WA, let's say I'm using the exterior, let's say 715, right? We want to go to pick line. You can actually change it. So now it says it's prompting you for your location line. We don't want it to be on the center line because it's kind of going to mash up the stairs. We want it to be on the finished face. So we change it from center line to, let's say, hopefully I'm right. So finished face interior, let's see. So before you draw it, it will prompt you where it's going to go. See? And there we have it. So now you can, just extend this wall
to there. Okay. Amazing.
And we have that. See? Now we can just move this guy up. Let's see. The thickness of this is 715. So we can just change this wall here to a 715 wall.
Yeah.
And just align it. What's the shortcut for align?
LL.
AL. Yeah, AL. So you pick on where you want it to go, then you pick on where it is. See, that's good. Same thing. Pick on where you want it to go. Pick on where it is. I think this one. Yeah, same thing with this one. Pick on where you want it to go. Pick on where it is. I think the reason why it's not filling is because it's a wrong wall type. So if I do this to find out the thickness of the wall, it's 514.8. It's a different wall type, so we have to make it. So I'm just gonna write that down. 514.8. Again, the reason why I'm going through this is just to show you how you can manipulate your way around it to get it to fit your project. If you just had like a square building,
Yeah.
would have been working on something else for now. But
Yeah.
these are the things that
It doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. So 514.8. So we click on this wall, we go to edit type and duplicate it and call it exterior 514.
514, yeah.
0.8. You press OK. The next thing you want to do is edit the structure and change it from what it is right now to 514.8. If you're happy with that, take out the 0. I don't know. That's my point. Happy with the thickness, you press OK. You press OK, and it's going to make it. So now let's align it properly. We press AL. Click on where you want it to go, and click on where it is. And now we have that. So we have these walls. That's correct. I want to join these walls together. Let's see.
How do you do that?
Right now they are not joined. I'm pretty sure I knew how to do this before. Yeah, just drag it. So the reason why it was okay.
Show me that again.
So this wall is going into this wall. You can see where it stops. In order to make it align with this, just click and drag it to where this stops. Now it becomes one wall. That's pretty much how it is. Now the same thing we have to do it for this one. We can see that it goes in here. Click and drag it to where this one starts. Bob's your uncle. Man, what the? Okay, yeah, it's good. It's good now. Now you have one. What? Okay, this is gonna be. I think you can right click and go to unjoin walls. That's so weird. Good? Okay.
It does look
Yeah, I think we're good. So now we have our exterior wall. Oh, we need to do this part as well. So same thing for this one. We can use the pick line tool to get this angle. I'm just gonna align this to here, so it's correct. Pick on where it is. That's correct. That's good. So now let's create this form. So let's see what's the thickness of the wall. So DI for dimension. Let me pick this and this. Okay, that's. I don't know why it's not letting me pick it. If you can't do that, you can just also use this stuff called the measure tool. It's 340. Yeah, because it's a CAD drawing. There's some things I wouldn't pick. So it's 343.8. Now we have to make that wall type as well. There's a lot.
No, it's good that I can learn every scenario.
Sorry?
It's good that we can learn every scenario how to measure.
Okay, 340. So we take WA for wall. We go to edit type. We go to duplicate. We call it exterior 343.8. You press OK. You go to edit and change the thickness from 715 to 343.8. If you're happy with that, you press OK. Now we need to pick line. Not that pick line. So you need to know where the location is. So adjust this. Good. And this stops here.
Yep.
Now the last straw is this. Let's see the thickness. Yeah, we might as well just measure it. I don't know why it's not letting me pick the edge, but it's okay. We can also use another tool called measure. So just measure from here to here. Different type of wall. This is a 335.8. Interesting.
335.
Yeah, 335.8. Now let's make another wall. WA is the shortcut for wall. You go to edit type. You go to duplicate. And why are we duplicating the walls?
Because otherwise it will change the whole other walls.
Exactly. See, you're gonna become a Revit god pretty soon.
Revit girl. I have to become Revit girl. Trust me.
You have to become a BIM girl. 335.
Revit girl.
335.8.
That's the last thing I want to become, but yeah.
Why though? Hey, like companies actually need BIM specialists, and they pay a lot of money for BIM specialists. Like I feel like, again, this is just me like chatting. I feel if because I'm really passionate about BIM as well as as interior design as well, and I feel like if I have an opportunity to be a BIM specialist for a company or the current company that I am right now, hey, I would take it, to be honest. So now we can see that these walls are not aligning properly. We go to AL. Pick on where. So we want. Do we want this or this? Let's pick.
That one to be aligned.
So we want.
We want
this one or this
that one. That one to align with the bigger structure.
Okay, so we pick on where we want it to go and pick on where it is. Okay. So now we've done the exterior shell of the building. It's looking good, and we want to go to 3D.
Could we also do the other side? Just assume that there is a wall.
Sure. We can do that. I'm going to use a smaller wall and just pick all these lines, like a thinner wall, because I'm guessing this. I don't know. So click on wall. I'm going to use the generic 300 or generic 150. 300 is fine.
300,
so now
let's
pick lines. So we pick this one, we pick inside of this, outside of that, inside of this, outside of that, inside of this, outside of that, inside.
Oh, okay. So that's another way we can make walls.
Yeah.
Just go around.
Just going around to pick lines. I think I made a mistake. I'm going to cancel because this is too small. I'm going to use a smaller wall, like a 150.
Okay.
So, same thing, WA. Let's see. I don't want to use an interior wall. Let's see. Generic 150. Aha. So we pick the line. That's much smaller. Just for representational purposes. Pick that. Again, you can always change it. Pick that. This, that, this, that, this. Oh man, this is looking so jagged. Okay, we can just stop here. Okay, good. Now I need to. Okay, I can just delete this one and just join this together.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have this as our wall. Let's align this. We can just leave that part. So we also want to change it to.
Right.
Great. Yeah. 1 second. We need this wall to come into this wall. Okay. Great. So we click on this. Since it's the same wall, if I do this change here, all these walls will change to gray. So edit type, go to coarse fill pattern, and go to solid fill.
Yeah.
And press OK. Then change it from black to the same one we use. So it's consistent because we all love good consistency. And there you have it. We have created the exterior shell of the building, of the wall. So now you can see how it looks like from the north elevation, the east, the west elevation. I always mess it up since high school. West elevation, east elevation, and south elevation. In order to go there, you can just double click on this. And literally, this is how it looks like. One thing I also want to talk about is levels. If I didn't have these levels, I can, let's say I didn't have the third level. Let me show you how to add like a level. Yeah, it's fine. Press OK. Let's say it just has level 1 and level 2. Again, I know for the purpose of this building, it's just a one story, right? So it's just one floor. Or is it two floors?
For this project, it's one floor, but the building has
Yeah. Let's
multiple.
say we have 2 floors. How do we make a level? What you can do is a shortcut for level is LL, or you can just copy this and make a different one. So what I would do, like, because I'm pretty lazy, I just type LL, and it already prompts me to make a new level. You can you can now gauge how much you want the distance from here to be. Again, I just put it normally, and I fix it later. You can now change the name to third floor, or whatever, like whatever naming convention, like, suits you. Let's say we want it to be. You can also change the height as well. So you click on it. Let's say we want it to be 6,000. So 6,000. So yeah, you can keep on adding levels. Let's say you want to add more. You can press to copy is CO. That's a shortcut. I feel like I use more shortcut than in Revit than any other software. So CO, you copy this. If you want to copy multiple, make sure you have multiple here checked on, so you can literally just copy, make as many levels as you can. But that's not what we're doing today, so we're just gonna delete all these ones. Yes, good. So we have the first floor and the second floor. Now we have that. Let's go to so that's the east elevation. If you want to see the west elevation, this is how it looks like. Once you start adding windows, it will give you more character, so you can see how the elevations will look like from the beginning. Yes, you had a question.
And why does this one does not show the floors?
Oh, we haven't drawn floors yet.
Oh, we haven't. Did you delete from east?
Do you mean the actual floor pattern or
Floor? No, the floor lines.
this is a floor line. This.
Yeah, but if you go back to east. Oh, did you delete it?
We haven't drawn a floor yet.
Really? I thought you were copying and paste.
Oh, we did. I did it. Wait.
That's what I asked.
About? Do you mean the levels that I created?
The levels.
Yeah, I deleted it.
You deleted. Okay.
Okay.
You're too fast.
Okay. So now the next thing. Oh yeah, let's fix this one. So it's a continuous stuff. We're good. The next thing we want to do is draw in the windows, but we can't see the windows if it's poché. So what we're gonna do is now go to wireframe. Right? Yeah, wireframe. Okay, make it fine. So the reason why it didn't work was because it was in coarse.
It was in?
Coarse.
Oh, okay. So you need to go to medium.
Medium or fine. We need to adjust this. Yeah, this is a wall.
And are you just like clicking and dragging to the line?
Yes, or I can just use like a line.
You can also do AL.
Yeah. So now we want to make windows, and they're different. I can tell that these windows are similar than this one. So this and this is the same. So this is a window type 1. This is a window type 2. Let's see. This is a window. Oh yeah, this is same thing. Window type 2 as well. and it's like a
Mm-hmm.
third type. This one doesn't have any windows. Okay, so now we can bring in windows from the architecture tab, and you can click in window, and you can also edit it. But again, if you're lazy like me, you can just type WN and it will bring up your windows. Now let's see what Revit has. Most times I don't really use what the generic ones it has, but we can see that the fixed one, we can see that it's a fixed window. So we can bring it has different sizes. So it's up to us to see what works for us and what doesn't work. Let me pick this one. And it's as simple as just picking a window and placing it on a wall.
Okay.
So as you can see, if I go somewhere else, it will show me this sign. It means it cannot put it on any other object if it's not hosted to a wall. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
you should think about Revit. Is how do I design like a house? You have to put a window on a wall to host it. So we can just click on this, and now yes, I know what you're thinking. It's not the same size. We can just dimension the width to check the size of the window. So the window is roughly 2115
Mm-hmm.
width. So now we can edit this window to fit what we have already. So we click on this again, edit, duplicate. Let's call it type 1.
Window, right? Yeah.
Window type 1. We press OK. Now we can change the width to what we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's called
2115.
2115.0. Once you're happy, you press OK. You can also change everything, other thing else. You can change the exterior frame material. You can change the frame interior material. You can change. I mean, we wouldn't want to change it from glass. We can change to a different type of glass. We can change the sash to like a different material. I find that Revit just brings like wooden materials. I mean, it's not bad, but if you wanted to customize it, if you want like an aluminium, plum or quartz
Frame.
or like a seal, you can change it. It doesn't really matter, but we can go to material adding later. So once we are happy with the width, we press OK, and Revit will automatically make it the same width. So all we now need to do is just align it properly. Click on AL, click on where you want it to be, and click on where it is, and Bob's your uncle. Now we have a window. What you want to do?
How do you change? Sorry, because we picked the type window type with
Yes.
the frame around.
Yes.
How do you change this thickness of the frame?
Yeah, same thing here.
Edit, right?
Wait, thickness of the frame? Like
I mean,
you mean the thickness of this?
yeah. Can you change that, or it's like generic?
I think it's generic unless you have your own family. But let's see how it look. But I'm pretty sure you can actually change the thickness of the frame by editing the family. But that's kind of, if you click on this, so you're asking if you can change it. Yeah. So you need to set parameters. That is more complicated. Yeah, but
Okay,
like
we
I feel like this
about
is
it later.
this is like standard. Like Revit, I put a standard. But yeah, you can actually change it if you go here. Floor plans, I think floor line. You can change the thickness of the frame here in parameters, but I don't want to mess up with what it is given to us. So yeah, but you can change it if you understand parameters well enough. But I don't know. Let's go back. So now we have this. We can just copy this here, here, and here.
Mm-hmm.
So to copy is CO. So CO, you copy the angle from where it was from here to here to here. I think it's a different type, so we'll have to edit it. But yeah, so meanwhile, let's look at how it's looking like from the north elevation. Now you can see it has more character, but the thing is the width. So do we want it to be this big? Sorry, the height, my bad.
Height.
So you can change the seal height.
Yeah. We can probably start from like a meter from the ground,
Okay.
and then it's about maybe 150
Okay.
high.
Okay, for sure. But one thing I want to do is change the height. 'Cause I feel this is too small because we're working in millimeters. I can't really tell if this was feet. So
Okay.
if I do this, if I go to length and I go to fractional feet and inches, I'm like, okay, 10 feet. Okay, that's how I think. It's like I have my stuff here, so okay.
Yeah,
I know
it's the opposite for me.
10 feet is a high enough ceiling for, I don't know, for
That's
workspaces.
so strange that, we don't understand each other like with the feet and metric. It's
It
so
is. It is.
crazy.
In my country, we have this course called, in high school, we had this, we call it secondary school. We used to call it technical drawings. So we always did things in centimeters, millimeters. It was when I came to Canada in 2016 that I had to adapt to feet and fractional inches. I'm like, what is 3/4 of a feet?
Really?
I'm
So
like,
now you don't
now,
get
yeah,
with
now
me.
I'm more in tune because I went to school for like 6 years here. I have to get the scale rule, and I'm like, oh no, now I can't even go back to centimeters. I just can't see
Really?
it. Yeah, so this is how I see it. But yeah, we can since it's gonna be a one floor. Do you want a higher ceiling? So do you want like a for the HVAC and everything? Again, it's just floor plans, but we can always increase the ceiling. It doesn't really matter. We can increase the ceiling like later, but let's
Mm-hmm.
for for uh, this, I would like to see where's the line. Okay, it's here. Can you imagine? I'm just gonna move this. Uh,
So yeah, with feet, I don't know what to say, but
yeah,
it's
yeah. If you
one.
tell me, yeah, I can just convert it to millimeters. So
No, 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 but I'll check what's the height for
okay, good.
1 meter.
So what 1 meter to feet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So or meters to feet, and just put one. It's so hot in Toronto.
Three.
Oh my god. So 3 feet.
3.2. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So in order to, so you want it to be 1 meter from the ground, so 3 feet from the ground. We can do that. So what what I do is I just use detail lines. Detail lines help me do everything faster. So this is how I do it.
Well, say that again.
Detail lines.
Detail lines.
Basically, it's just lines that help you like orient yourself. I'll show you how. So I press DL. If I if I if I count how many times I've used the shortcut that today, it's crazy. So oh, let me. You were watching. So I press DL and just draw a line. 3 feet up. So 3 feet up.
Yep.
So I know this is 3 feet from the ground.
And you are using just like drawing
Yeah,
tool.
just lines. So in order to get there, so it's under the modify tab. You can draw a line. You can draw a square, a circle. Yeah, I'm just using this line to be a reference point. Now, I know my Revit teacher in university will hate me for this. You can just literally move this until it snaps, but don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that because you're going to mess up with the alignment from the floor plan. So what you want to do is change the sill height here to 3 feet. So
Hmm.
we change it to 3. We press 3 feet 0. See? And now it's there. So we can do the same thing for everything else. Just control and hold and change everything from 3 feet. We actually didn't need that detail line. I just showed you how I used to do it before, the incorrect way. I would draw a line and just move everything to that line so I know it's 3 feet. But you can also, change it from here. And see,
Okay.
now we have every window at 1 feet up offset. I feel like the ceiling is too short or the windows are too big. We'll fix that later because
The ceilings are 9 feet or 10 feet, right?
okay, then that's good. Then we have windows here now. So if you
Um,
want to change how this looks, you can go to shaded. It kind of gives you more material. You can go to consistent colors. Then if you want it to be realistic, I don't know how this is realistic, but 1 second, it will show you how realistic it is. You can actually see the wood. I don't like this wood. I have better, like I have a whole resource of library, like material library, but my hard drive is spoiled. I have to go fix it.
sorry, so
Anyway,
how did you go and changed
so
the
it's
view?
it's
Yeah.
it's it's this box here that has this red
Visual
stuff. So
style.
it's called
Yeah.
visual styles. what we've been working on normally, and what you normally work in Revit is just hidden lines. It's just the straight, clean cut
Straight
lines.
line.
But
Okay.
for graphic purposes, if you want to add more depth to it, and we'll talk about depth like in other sessions, you can add shaded just to give it a pop of color to okay. So I know, oh, these are walls, or oh, this is the sill. I'm like, okay, this is where the wood starts from. Okay, I can actually see it in more details, and you can add
Okay.
shadows and all those things later.
Okay.
So
And we can talk about how we change this color later, or
yes, yeah. I mean, we can do like whenever, whenever we get there. So now
okay.
we've so far we've drawn the exterior shell. We've
Mm-hmm.
shown how to manipulate Revit to give us angled stuff by using pick lines and drawing from
Mm-hmm.
the finished face. We've shown how to use different to create different wall types using the
Mm-hmm.
duplicate function and renaming it and changing the thickness. And we've shown how to import windows. One thing you can do, so once you have your window, always make sure the double lines are facing the other side. What do I mean? If you place it like this, there's no way they're going to build something like this. And I learned it the hard way because I lost the marks from my Revit assignment in school.
Ah,
It's
okay.
supposed to be on the other side. So you have
And what does this line represent?
it's I think it's the sill.
Ah, okay.
You're supposed
Okay,
I know
okay.
it's very bad. You're supposed to have more space inside with you than the outside. That's just the way they
Mm.
build. So if you click on any architectural element, you can actually flip the orientation by using this
Okay.
key. So everything is supposed to be on the outside. That's the correct way of drawing windows on working drawings. Oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
lesson for today. So now we've drawn this. We want to draw the other windows on here. We just complete it. I'm just gonna align this because I have OCD. Just looking at things that are not aligned. Okay, I think this is the wrong wall type. Let me just check. Ah, my God, you have to go back to meters. Haha. I'm just gonna length. Go millimeters. Yep, that's it. Decimal place. I like to use one on decimal place. Okay. So now let's measure it again and see. So this to this is 514.8, and this is not 5.514.8. It's supposed to be 514.8. Did I make that one? Yeah, this one. Good. So now this is the right wall type. Because I was like, why is it showing something else? Okay, correct. Now we want to okay. Now we want to add the windows, but we can't really see it because that
We're
is
on the
blocking.
wrong
Oh man, this stuff.
visual style.
Yeah, on the wrong visual side. See, you're learning pretty well. So if you go,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to wireframe, so we have this window, that window, this window. I think it's the same thing with this. I'm not sure, but we can just measure again just to be sure. So DI to measure from the. Okay, this is a different window type. This is 252585. So this is window type 2. 2585.2, and I believe is the same thing as this one. Let's see. Okay, interesting. You have different windows. That's okay. Uh, yep,
They're all different.
everything is different. We'll have to make so.
But can you not like n- make use the same window and then just like change the length because it's not, or
We,
it's gonna be different
we,
type.
we would have to duplicate it,
Ah,
like how
okay.
we've been doing it. Again, like what we changed here is the width. We didn't change the height. We can also change the height if you want. If you want to be asymmetrical. If you want to make one long, make one like this. Again, it just depends on the project.
But
But
you always need to change you always need to change duplicate
yes,
and
the
change the
the
type.
duplicates. Again, we can change this. So let's look at the height of this. Again, you can do this, or simply do this and go to edit type and check the height. The height is, it's here. We didn't have to do this. I just did it because it was faster than going
And
edit
if
type.
we want to change the height, just
can-
this one, then we need
yes.
to duplicate.
Yes, you need to duplicate this one.
Okay.
Exactly. Because look at what happens if we don't do that. Let's say I want to change just this one and I forgot to duplicate it. Let's say we change it to 1,500 or 500. I will be thinking, okay, I want to change this to 1,500, but everything else is going to change. If I apply it, see, it changes everything. That's a really weird window, but Control Z.
Go back.
Exactly. So you need to duplicate each individual window to change. That's if you want it to be different. But if you're having the same concept window, you can just use the same thing for for that. I don't know what this line is. Oh, it's the. So now we need to make 4 different windows. Okay, let's see. The shortcut for the windows is WN. Can I take a break? I just want to just go grab something real quick.
Yeah. But actually, do you think maybe we can just call a day here for part 1? Because now we have like built the core, I guess.
Yes, we can.
And then next week we can talk about the floor plates.
Yeah.
Right? And then also the furniture, bringing in the family and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And interior wall.
Before we go, I would like to do like a recap of what we learned today. Okay. So, do you want to do the
No, I don't think I want to do. Go for it.
Okay, today we.
Well, I have all the list of like shortcuts, which I will maybe put on like a tab somewhere.
Okay, today we went over the basics of Autodesk Revit and creating a floor plan based on our AutoCAD file that we imported using LinkCAD, and we were able to create architectural elements like wall types, window types, and we were able to put in the windows, and we manipulated the walls to have different thicknesses. As you can see, every project has its own individual preferences. So using elements like align, copy, move, pick lines, we're able to recreate the exact plan, but in a 3D form. We also, played with graphics by giving this a poche. Let's say we didn't want this to be this color, we could also give it like a material. Let's say we want to represent it by using concrete. We can do that as well, and it will change. So it's just knowing how to manipulate graphic styles in Revit to suit your project better. And we looked at elevation views. We saw how to add levels by either pressing LL to make another one, or clicking it and pressing copy CO to duplicate this. And I think we'll leave it at that for the first tutorial. The next steps is adding the other windows, importing the Revit families that we see here, or the one that will suit this project better, play with the graphic styles, assigning door tags, window tags, room tags.
That will come later.
Yeah, that will come later. And assigning materials to different elements like walls, ceilings, bringing the lights, and all that fun stuff. But I feel.
And actually, I think sorry to interrupt, but actually the difference is I get confused sometimes because I've been working on CAD for many years when I draw plans. So like switching to Revit is like when you draw a plan, like obviously we've been working on plan drawings, but you are actually building 3D at the same time.
That is.
So if we go to 3D view, which if you can show us,
Yes.
So if you go to this on top of the ribbon, there's like a house mark.
Yes, this one here.
Yeah. You click that, we can see that it's building 3D already.
Exactly. That's one of the perks of working. And let's say I don't want to see. Let's say I don't want to see something. I can just hide it. So I click on it, right click, hide in view elements. So I just want to focus on the wall. So now we can see. Now we can see the wall, the room that we've designed so far. So that's one of the perks of using Revit. It creates elevations. It creates like, you can I abstract a lot from just modeling in Revit. That was why it really helps me in school, whereby I would just draw plans. I already know I have my elevation section, 3D views waiting for me. So it helped me become more efficient, and I completed my work in like record time. So yeah, that's day one in the
Day
bag.
one, and we'll continue next week
Yes, sounds
again.
good. Yeah, next week.
Okay,
All right.
perfect.
Okay, have a good week or weekend. I'll see you next week.
Was that for the video or was that for
Yeah,
us?
maybe. I don't know. You can add it. I don't mind.
Okay, yeah, good. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to. Don't leave yet. I'm just gonna stop the recording
Yeah,
and
yeah,
send it
yeah.
to you. So, I'm gonna, hi.